Welcome back to Plum's Virtual Art Classroom. Today we are going to go on a virtual gallery walk to view the art of Vincent Van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was born in the Netherlands in 1853. His father and grandfather were ministers, but others in his family worked in the art world. Vincent had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. He was closest to his younger brother Theo. Although he enjoyed drawing from the time he was a young boy, Vincent had a number of other jobs before he decided to work as an artist full-time. He worked as a teacher in London and then as a minister. He also worked in a bookstore, an art gallery, and as a missionary. At around the age of 27, Van Gogh decided to devote himself completely to art. When Vincent first started drawing, he sketched pictures using pencils or charcoal sticks. He used some watercolors as well. He liked to draw pictures of poor, hardworking people. Eventually, he began to paint using oil paints. In this early part of his career, Van Gogh used a lot of dark colors, such as browns and dark greens. His pictures were often somber or sad. His most famous early painting was called The Potato Eaters, pictured here. It was a dark picture of a peasant family eating potatoes for dinner. Much of what we know about Van Gogh comes from letters he wrote to his brother Theo. Theo worked in an art gallery in Paris and supported Vincent's art career. He sent Vincent money and encouraged him. Theo tried to sell Vincent's paintings, but no one wanted to buy them. Theo wrote to Vincent to tell him about a new style of painting in Paris called Impressionism. In 1886, Vincent moved to Paris to learn from these new painters. His art became influenced by painters such as Claude Monet, Edgar Degas, and Camille Pissarro. He also became good friends with artist Paul Gauguin. During this time, Van Gogh began to use brighter colors. His brushwork also became more broken. He painted subjects from the streets and cafes of Paris, as well as the countryside. Van Gogh also became interested in painting portraits of people. When he couldn't find models, he would paint himself for practice. He painted over 20 self-portraits during this time. In 1888, Van Gogh moved south to Arles, France, to start up an artist commune. He rented out a yellow house to live in and invited artist Paul Gauguin to join him. He loved the vibrant colors and the bright sun of Arles. Van Gogh began painting with intensity and emotion. The colors in his paintings became more vibrant and bright. He would sometimes apply the paint directly onto the canvas from the tubes, leaving the paint thick with rough brush strokes. Sometimes it would take weeks for his paintings to dry because the paint was so thick. Vincent painted hundreds of pictures during this time, sometimes painting masterpieces in a single day. He became fully obsessed with art. Paul Gauguin came to visit for a time, but the 2 artists had an argument and Gauguin soon left. This is when Vincent famously cut off part of his ear in a fit of madness. Did he really cut off part of his ear? Yes. After an argument with painter Paul Gauguin, Van Gogh went home and cut off part of his left ear with a razor blade. He then wrapped up the ear in a cloth and presented it to a woman as a present. Weird and gross. In 1889, Van Gogh committed himself to a mental hospital. He could barely take care of himself. He still continued to paint and painted one of his most famous paintings, Starry Night, pictured here. Many of his paintings during this time featured cypress trees and lots of swirling colors. Van Gogh's mental state continued to deteriorate. On July 29, 1890, he died. His brother Theo died 6 months after Vincent. They are buried next to each other in Auvers, France. His brother's wife collected all of Vincent's paintings and letters, and she dedicated herself to getting his work the fame it deserved. Clearly, her work paid off. Some think he may have only sold 1 work during his lifetime, Red Vineyards near Arles, pictured here. Although he wasn't famous during his lifetime, today he is considered one of the greatest and most influential artists of his time. Many of his paintings sell for millions of dollars today. The portrait of Dr. Gachet, also shown here, set records in May 1990, selling at auction for $82.5 million. That's $161.4 million today. There are over 800 surviving oil paintings, as well as over 1,000 watercolors and sketches of his work. Watch this Maddie and Dada cartoon to learn more about Vincent Van Gogh and his art.
Hey! What are you gonna paint, Maddie?
That, Dada.
Huh? You're gonna paint the flowers? The tree? The fence! Yes, the fence could use painting. It's peeling.
Very funny, Dada. I'm painting the garden. The whole garden. All the beautiful flowers, the fence, the trees, the sky, everything. It's going to be big and fantastic. Oh!
Yummy! Getting wet.
Oh.
I know what you can paint indoors. Flowers!
But, Dada, I wanted to paint something big and exciting. Not just flowers.
I just saw a painting of some flowers in a book. They were by a great artist. Let me show you.
Okay, sure. Show me.
Wow! Great! Let's go!
Dada, I'm at Show Me in the Vlog!
Oh.
Huh?
Where are we, Dada?
I'm, not completely sure. I'll get you an umbrella.
Great. Now, who are we looking for?
Well, yes. The painting in the book was by, I'm not sure, Vincent. Someone named Vincent.
Vincent Van Gogh? The great artist?
Well, that could be his name.
I don't see him anywhere. Everyone's gone inside from the rain. Where do you think he is?
He was supposed to be right where we landed. Somewhere.
Hey, Dada, a paintbrush. Now where? Another paintbrush. It's bigger. Look, a small paintbrush. Oh.
All my paintbrushes gone? Huh?
Excuse me. But are these yours?
Ah, thank you. I thought I lost them. I cannot afford to buy more. I'd like to give you a reward, but I have no money. Would you like some bread and cheese?
Thank you, Mr. Van Gogh.
Call me Vincent. I'm so glad you found them. What a relief.
Oh, what a beautiful painting.
I call it Terrace of a Cafe at night.
It's night, yeah, but the colors are so bright.
The excitement I feel painting. I want the person looking at the painting to also feel.
I think I can feel it too. When I look at it really closely, it's like I'm there, really standing in the street.
Garçon!
Un expresso formier, s'il vous plaît.
It feels like we're in the painting.
I wanted the colors to be vibrant, even though it was night. See? The yellow, the blue, the green.
And all the different brushstrokes everywhere. Thick and big in the sky and small down on the cobblestone in front.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Ooh, terrific!
It's called the olive trees.
Wow, it's super nice. It looks like everything is moving in it.
Oh, it excites the eyes. Everything moving.
And the clouds are like when the wind blows. The wind also blows the trees. like when I was painting it.
Vincent, your paintings feel so real and alive.
No matter what I'm painting, if it's a farmer's field, a portrait, a bowl of fruit, or a church, I want everything to feel alive. But not that alive.
Dada! The window! I got it!
Where did it go?
The door!
Hey! Turn on the lights! I can't see! I get... Oh! That was dead-tastic fun!
So what will you paint next, Vincent?
I was going to paint a wheat field, but it started raining. So I was going to paint those. Sunflowers are wonderful to paint, even when it's not raining.
Yes, of course. Your sunflower paintings. They're famous.
Really?
Yeah, sunflowers. Wow, I want to paint some too.
I can get you sunflowers.
Thank you, Vincent. I love your paintings. That was fun. Vincent Van Gogh was such a great painter. It's amazing.
Hey, Maddie, it stopped raining. You can paint outside now.
I want to do a painting inside first. Vincent would like that. And Dada, look, I'm finished.
You did it, Maddie! Exciting and special! We can go outside now. I see trees blowing in the wind. Wouldn't it be more exciting to go paint something outside?
Yeah, as soon as I finish another painting.
I hope you are now inspired to make your own version of Van Gogh's sunflowers. Remember, this part is extra credit. Get creative and use any kind of materials to create your version of the famous sunflowers. If you choose to make your own sunflower art, make sure you take a photo of it when you are done and upload it to Focus. Some options to make your art could be chalk, oil pastels, watercolor paint, tempera or acrylic paint, or crayons. You can make homemade salt dough. Just Google the recipe, or maybe you have Play-Doh or modeling clay at home. Some other ideas might be a collage or a sculpture using materials found around your home. A paper collage, use some wiki sticks or tissue paper. You can use a digital art app on a computer, tablet, or phone. You can even make sunflower art out of food, like a cake or cookies. Be creative and have fun making your own version of sunflowers. That is the end of our virtual gallery tour of Vincent Van Gogh's art. You are now ready to go back to the team's assignment number 6 to take the required quiz. I can't wait to see your very creative sunflower creations, if you choose to do the extra credit.